a React application. So the screen, what we need to do, so we need to create a simple complement. So let's start for this. So when you go in your Java in your React project, you will see this file here, src. You need to go inside, and then here we already speak about all these files. So now you need to create a complement inside of this. So for example, here you click here and then you click folder. It will give you folder and then you write complement. And then inside of this is good scripture. And inside of this, now you can create your complement. You know, this is the complement you create here. So let's create a new complement here. Okay, a new complement, we'll call it like reserve now. Okay, we call it like reserve. Okay, reserve. We say it's just a reserve. Reserve now. Reserve. Okay, reserve now. So something like a reserve now to make it a bit different. Don't forget the GS file. So when you put GSX, is show you this sign of React complement. So it is, you say enter. So you just create a new complement, okay? And then it's open this empty folder. You understand? So first things you need to create, we say like a complement is just a class, is kind of a class. It's just kind of a class, but in JavaScript, in React, a complement is kind of a class, is a GUI, is a GUI, but it's a kind of a class. You need to have an idea of the class. A class needs to have a variable inside. A class needs to have a function that could be written or a function that will be avoid. But most of the time, complement, the function need to be type, we need to be type of returning, okay? So this put in mind. So a function need to be something like a function. Before that, everything we need to do is to import. That is important in this is this hook, okay? So we call hook first. We call state variable here. This is more important. So we have this is more important because when you create this, you ask React, like I import hook function class inside here. It will help you to use variable instead of creating a lot of things in this class. So now after that, you need to create a function. Okay, you create a function. Okay, so you need to create your function. So this is your function, and your function will have the name of reserve. Okay, what we say reserve now, yeah, reserve now, reserve, we say reserve, okay, reserve now. Okay, don't forget, we say reserve now, is the reserve now then. So it's reserved now. Every function needs to have a parameter and needs to have the bracket. Okay, so this is a function, okay? And then don't forget, we say this function will be returning function. So this will be returning function. Every returning need to have a bracket, and you need to close that bracket. And then, okay, so inside of this bracket, we'll come to explain to you everything we'll put here. Could be a form, could be some type of parameters will be here inside, so that will come out. But the main of this is just to create a simple function or a simple complement to see how it's working. So before that, we need to say we are going to create some variable. So now we are going to create a variable. We are going to create a variable. Okay. So we are going to create a variable const. Okay. and we need this, okay, and then you need to use a state, okay, always you need to use a state variable down there, okay, so and then state variable always like this, and then inside we can put something like this. I'll explain to you why I put that. So let's create a variable. That variable, we'll call it, for example, data, okay, we say data, okay, we say maybe input, okay, we say maybe input, okay, maybe we will just say like data, okay, data one, okay, we need to put big, I like to be big, data one, and then we need to create a setup for this, okay, setup data one, okay, you're gonna set a data one, okay, is that one? You say yes, is the one I want. Okay, so everything now is okay. Remember, we are creating a booking. So a booking, for example, variable. So let's create variable, okay, with, it's gonna be having with three attributes, okay, three attributes, okay, three attributes, okay. So this is gonna be like a attribute, for example, name, name, and then I need a phone number, okay, I need a phone number, and then I need, for example, email, okay, so this is more important. So we have name, phone number, okay, so this is a array. So inside of this array we need to put this attribute inside. So we need to go inside. At the moment this array is still empty, so now we need to put this attribute inside, okay. Okay, so now we need to put name. So we say name, okay. So say just name, okay. So we have name, and then we have this. Everything is there. So just copy this, and then repeat it 3 times. Repeat it 3 times, okay. So all we need here is this guy, and then we need this, okay. So here we need this, okay, and then we accept just this, and then this also, okay, email, okay. So we can accept this, everything like that, maybe, okay. So I don't know why it's doing this, it's taking my time, okay. And then email also. So okay, so we have creating this. So I don't know, is say here, just to remove this. I don't know why. Remove it, okay, because we close it from here, okay, because this is closer, yeah. So each time we'll be setting this, so our variable is still empty, so we need to create handle function, okay. This is gonna be handle, so this is gonna be function, and then that function you need to call it handle change, okay. Handle change function, a function need to have a parameter and the bracket close, go down in the function. So every function needs to have this. So inside of this, we need to set. So each time user will click on the screen on a label, so we need to do this function to set our variable, okay. So this will set our variable. So you know how to set anything, you do set what we need to set data, and then we need to open bracket, and then inside of the bracket we need to set everything, okay. So inside of this we need to set, you know, we need to set this data, okay. We need to set data, and then after this what we need after this what we need to set by this kind of notation. I'll do this, sorry, I'll do this, yeah. So e dot also target, okay, target dot value, okay. So we do everything by value, okay. I'll do this, it will give me correct one. So I need inside also is gonna be e dot, okay, e dot target, e.target dot name. Okay, so everything is there. So we have this, and this means something expected, this one. Okay, how can I do this? Okay, so all I need is I need this, then I need e dot target dot value, yeah, dot value, because we need that value. Yeah, so we do this. So I don't know why it's doing this. Hey there, hi. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we should have something there. Okay, give me a second. I need to check this. Why is doing that? And I can accept all this. Why? So why was refused? Okay, so you have creating this. I'll fix some stuff there. So you're creating this. After creating this, so you all change will go there. And then another things you need to create here is your you need to create another important function. We call this function as handle submit. Okay, handle submit also is important. Handle, you say submit. Okay, and submit is important. Handle submit. Okay, and submit and submit. Okay, so we have and submit here with a function. Why is it this? And submit is a function. The old function I told you need to have this. Okay, so L function need to have this and the function. So here we use a parameter. Okay, here we use e. Okay, and then we use a function that we call e dot prevent. Okay, we use this e prevent. It's more important. Default is a prevent and default down here. So this is more important, and then we use alert. Okay, we use alert also. Alert will give us those alerts, okay, for that name and everything. So, and then after that, you need to create like a clear, you know, so you need to clear like data. Okay, so this data set will be clear after submit this function. So this is how you create a complement. Okay, so you finish with this. Okay, you have your data, you create your variable. Okay, and then your variable still empty. Here it will be responsible handle change from the user typing, and then everything in the label or in the test field will be targeted by name and take the value. And then here is a submit. So this is more important function. Is more important function. So this function, okay, this function can send data, can send data to server or on your page. Okay, on your page. Okay, on your page or screen. Okay, on your screen. Okay, something like this. So you understand this. Say this is more important. So your data here can be sent and can be this. So here we do some alert to see our data if they are typing, if those data will be in our screen. Okay, so okay, when you finish this, we think like this finish. So you finish. Next time when will come is to create inside here. So where you put your so down here. So now say down here where you put, okay, where you put, okay, where you put your form. Okay, where you put your form. Okay, where you put your form to be displayed. Okay, so this is amazing place to put. Okay, the value input and the user in function. So for example, here first what we need to put is div. Okay, so div is become more important. Okay, everything needs to be in the div. Okay, so you say div. Okay, this is div. Okay, so it's that div there, and then we pass also the class inside. We need to close div. We close div. Okay, we close div, and then we put everything. So what we say here, we say the screen, okay, will be for this size, and then we say all the item on the center and the justification on the center, and then the test will be on the center. So everything will be in the center, okay, of this. All right, so we need to put like inside of this, we need to put a header, okay? Header like, for example, we say reserve now. We reserve now, okay, reserve now, reserve now. So it's something like reserve now, okay? And then this will be just our title, okay? So our title is gonna be H, which H? You can say maybe H1, okay? So we say H1 with this class, you know, all this class, why we get them? Because we already set up and do configuration of our CSS, our CSS is there. This CSS we use is different. Is the CSS we use Tailwind CSS is very, very good and more powerful when you are creating these things. Okay, so let's see if these things can come out, because before to create a form, we won't create a form yet. The form will be in the next video, so to avoid the video to be long for you to understand. So okay, so what we have created now, in this one, we have creating everything here. So when you finish, you need to import this component in your file application, okay, so for him to run. Okay, here you say what you need is that form. Yes, you say I need this, the form React, okay, is importing, you importing this form here, you know, reservation reserve now is here, and then when you come here, you need to bring this reserve now, okay, reserve now. I bring it here down, so I import it here, and then I bring it here down. Remember, all the complement is a GUI, so we need this GUI to come out. GUI is what? GUI is an interface in what user will be interact with. And then let's open the terminal window to see if we can get something important out about. So until now we have only a title, okay, a title. So let's see, you need to do cd in this, okay, and then say go, you know, your app, and then from here you can run npm, because JSON package is in here in this folder where you run everything. Say npm run def, okay. Let's see, our React is running, so let's see what we'll get outside. Okay, okay, let's see what we'll get outside. So we go here, and then we'll paste this. Okay, yeah, we get something. Okay, so we get something that we have created a booking. So let's check from that. Let's check. So if now is our complement will come out, okay, this complement, what we need to see in this complement, you remember in this, what this is just title until now in our complement to come out. That's what we need to see, because we didn't create any form inside. So let's just see if this will just come out. Okay, so you need to save. Okay, when you do this, you need to save. Okay, save everything if it's possible. You save everything, and then go check the update of this file if it's saved. Okay, the update. All right, so until now we have nothing on our page. As I told you, until now we have nothing. We don't have anything in our page, because if you can see here, we have only div, Okay, and then inside of this div we have this title. Okay, but we need to create the form that will help us to have these things. So that is going to be in the next video. Later we'll see. Okay, we stop for there now, so we see you in the next video. Okay, and stop sharing. Yes.